8 minutes to 5. It's Thursday tea time. That means it's time to go to the movies. Yes, you know what that means. James Luxford's here again. Hi, James.
Hi there.
Movie reviewer for Metro newspaper, Radio Times magazine, and BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. You were at a midnight showing for Avengers last night. You are here to tell the tale.
Yeah, I am. I got
Where'd
my commemorative poster at Stratford-upon-Avon Picture House.
They gave you a poster.
Oh yeah,
Wicked.
I'm not above that. I'm not above a freebie.
Okay.
I don't think I've done a midnight because of my job. I haven't done a midnight screening since I was in university about 15 years ago,
So you clearly felt this is important enough to go and do that.
It absolutely
as
is,
an event.
Yeah, I should have gone to the press screening, but my niece was born earlier this week during when the screenings would have been. So that was
You're excused.
I was excused. Yeah, so I went to the midnight screening, and it was just a real moment of excitement. I can't remember the last time I was in a packed cinema and everyone just shut up completely.
Really?
As soon as it came up, everyone went completely quiet, and that kind of hushed silence when there's a really big film coming and everyone wants to see it.
It is Avengers Endgame. This is the follow-up to Infinity Wars. Just take us through. And you've said, I see your tweet earlier, this is spoiler-free, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So you're able to talk about this without giving anything away. If anybody's thinking, I better switch off, it's okay. You're not going to blow anything.
So this is, I'm assuming you've seen Infinity War, and this follows up to the devastation wreaked by the villain Thanos in the previous film. And this film follows the remaining Avengers trying to find a way to undo the devastation he caused.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
I'm really nervous what you're going to say about this.
It's really difficult because we had this, as I was coming in, someone asked, is it any good? Don't tell me anything.
Right.
And I thought, well, I can only really give a thumbs up and thumbs down. So I'll try to be as vague and spoiler-free as I can, but I thought this was fantastic. It's 3 hours, but it's really kind of divided up into 3 acts, and all of which are very exciting. I got to admit, I was a little bit frustrated with the first act because it's more of a comic tone. I think maybe to just give you a bit of a breath after what happened in the first film in Infinity War. But really, as the film went on, it tied everything together, and what a finale. Really? I think, this is 10 years of, 11 years of universe building, and this is the crescendo, and it really pays off. I've never seen anything quite like it in blockbuster filmmaking, at least. And
it's taken 21 movies to get to this point, as
absolutely.
You say, over a decade. Is it possible, if you're listening to this now and you're hearing all of the attention around it, and you're watching all the hashtag Avengers Endgame dominating Twitter, that you could go and watch this movie and still understand it if you've not watched any of the 21 previous ones?
I think you'd probably understand it. I don't think you'd appreciate it. I think you would have had to have at least have seen Infinity War to grasp what was going on. Really, no, this is a movie for people who've followed it for 12 years. I remember I was at the first Iron Man press conference and the press junket when they said, well, we're planning on doing these kind of crossover movies, but we don't know yet. Let's just see if Iron Man works out. And obviously it did. So if, like me, you've followed it since its inception, this is the movie for you. If you're a newcomer to it, I would recommend maybe catching the big ones, at least the Avengers movies, if you don't want to catch the rest of them.
Are you fulfilled at the end of it? Do you get what you want? Without giving anything away?
Yeah. I came away from Infinity War with a very defined list of things that had to happen and not happen in order for me to feel like this second part has paid off. And when I got to the end credits, I really felt like I'd gotten everything I wanted.
Okay. Avengers Endgame. It's on. everywhere. Is there any point talking about another movie at all this weekend, or is it just so dominant?
I mean, all we're going to talk about in the next few weeks is how much money it's made. It's going to, probably break Avatar's record, but there are other films sort of out there. One is 8th Grade. It's comedian Bo Burnham. He directs a drama about a 13-year-old's last week in middle school.
So, the topic of today's video is being yourself. Being yourself can be hard, and it's like, aren't I always being myself? And yeah, for sure. But being yourself is like not changing yourself to impress someone else.
Okay, not.
Yeah.
Being yourself.
I really love this. It's a very different film to Avengers, so if you are sick of that kind of movie, this is the antidote. It's a high school movie, but feels real, and is set in the modern day, but I think really captures the kind of the angst and isolation of being around 13, 14 and being desperate to be popular, feeling kind of tied up by your own awkwardness. And Elsie Fisher, who's the lead in it, is absolutely superb. Bo Burnham, a comedian who's now a director. I can't wait to see his next film.
Okay, and very quickly, before the news at 5, James, you've had the Bond announcement today. Rami Malek's going to play the villain. What do you make of what they've announced today?
Oh, my goodness. Why today? Why the day of the biggest film in the world is about to launch? Particularly when you don't have a title.
Yes.
So big news, Bond 25 coming out in April. Rami Malek is cast, we think, possibly as the villain. Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag is contributing to the screenplay. No title. To me, this could have been done next week. Still exciting, but I think it will get lost in the shuffle of all the Avengers news.
Okay. James, thank you very much indeed, as ever. Very good. He can read his reviews, like I say, in the Metro newspaper and Radio Times magazine. If you have to see Avengers Endgame, hopefully there we've whetted your appetite a little bit more.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire travel.
Without giving anything away. He said it'd be spoiler-free, and he was right, wasn't he? Minute to 5 is Erica.
Main problems continue in Bicknell for Coventry Road.